Hey everybody, we're going to go through and just kind of show off some of the stuff that we picked up in January. Some of this we picked up right at the beginning of February too. We're going to call this our January pickups. Got a lot of cool stuff to show you. About over 30 games we added to the collection in the month of January. So we're just going to show them off, talk a little bit about them, and hopefully you like it. First two I'm going to show we don't have footage of because they're rated M, and I wanted to play through them first before I decided if Oscar could see him. Probably I'm not going to play him with him, though. But we got Max Payne 2. It's a third-person shooter game. I've never played this one. I played the third one that was on the PS3, but I've never played this one or the first one. But I really liked the one that I did play, so I'm looking forward to this. And then Mortal Kombat Armageddon for the PS2. Also never played that one. I've heard good things, though. I didn't have a PlayStation 2 growing up, so all the PS2 games that I'm getting now are my first time seeing them mostly. So we're going to go through the rest of them. Oscar has played the majority of them as well. Some of them he didn't. And we're going to show you a little bit of footage from each one while we're going through it too. So if you have anything you want to say about any of them, you just chime in, alright?
Okay.
Okay. X2, Wolverine's Revenge. It's a third-person action-adventure game in the XMen series. I had a lot of fun with it. I remember playing this one before. Oscar watched me play this one a little bit.
Yeah.
What do you think about it?
It looked pretty cool.
Yeah. The next one, you talk about that one because I didn't play it.
Yeah.
Show it to the camera.
Over the Hedge. I got to play it. It was a lot of fun. It took 2 tries to get past this one part.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, what am I supposed to do here again? It didn't give me enough time to read.
I watched it play it for a little bit. It's your typical licensed game of that era. It's boiled down to like fetch quests and things with the characters from the movie, pretty much.
And
that's it.
When you're done playing it at the end, you get to go to this one place and it's mini games.
Cool. All right. Got a few demo discs. I'm gonna show them off. I got one for the PS2. Jam Pack. So you're gonna be seeing some footage of these demo discs. I think they're cool. Most time you can pick up a demo disc for a system for cheap because there's not a lot of people after them. But I think they're just kind of a cool thing that shows, you know, it's kind of like a product of its time. You're not going to see demo discs anymore. So that's the ones we got for the PS2. This one that actually came with the Xbox magazine back in the day, which is pretty neat. And then this is probably the one that we played the most of the demo discs, this Xbox Live Arcade demo. It's got this really weird like Xbox tutorial video on it. We'll show you some of that. And then I think we played the Feeding Frenzy on it for a long time, a lot longer than we probably should have. And then it also has a demo of Pac-Man Championship Edition, which is an excellent game. If you haven't played that, find a way to play that one. Soulcalibur 2. It's a 3D fighter game. I call it 3D because you can actually move in 3-dimensional space. It's not like a 2-dimensional fighter. I played this one originally back in the day on the GameCube, so this is the first time I had any experience with the PS2 one. We played this for a while. Yeah, Oscar whipped my butt a couple times.
That's why we didn't play together. So I just like fought a few people, and how I killed this one enemy. I stepped out of the way, and he jumped into the water and drowned.
And then, hold on to those for a minute. We got all 3 Jak and Daxter games for the PS2. The footage you're going to be seeing right now is actually from the PS3 version of it because it was just easier to capture. But I haven't played these very much. I know Oscar and Katie have played almost all the way through all of them, the PS3. Can you talk a little bit about these?
Okay. Katie knows more about this one than me. On Jak and Daxter, well, it was really cool, but it took me forever just to get through practice, and when my dad, on the footage, you'll see me like show Evie, because she was down there with me, show Evie what happens when you swim too far in the water.
So Jak and Daxter is a 3D platformer. All of them, I think there may be a little bit of gunplay in the third one, is that right? Or they all just jump and spin and stuff?
Yeah, there's guns in this one.
Yeah. So, Jak and Daxter is from Naughty Dog, and it was in between Crash Bandicoot and the Uncharted series, is what they were working on, was Jak and Daxter. And as the series kind of progressed, it got kind of a little more adult, heavier type of themes, and you can really see where they're going from Crash Bandicoot to the Uncharted type of thing. But they're fun. And then we got some new stuff. We got Double Dragon 4 for the PS4. Oscar and I played this for a while. There's a Let's Play coming out of us playing this one. It is different. So it's not Super Double Dragon, if that's what you're expecting. It's a brand new game, and it's done in the NES style. I thought it felt kind of stiff, actually. It doesn't really feel or play as well, I thought, as Double Dragon 2 on the NES. But it was still a lot of fun, especially playing in 2 players. It's fun.
But I died before Daddy. I thought it was unlimited lives, but now I know that the credits are your lives. Like, after you go through 3, you take one of the credits away to bring yourself back to life.
Yeah, it's like quarters in an arcade. Yeah. And then we've got River City Melee. So if you remember River City Ransom for the NES, that is not it. The art style is kind of similar, but it's like an arena wrestling game fighter kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was terrible.
I liked it, and probably because I won.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, and there's 2 guys that have, like, tiger mask on.
Mm-hmm.
There's one guy that has, like, a better tiger mask on, and there's this other guy that doesn't have a really good tiger mask on, and this other guy just has, like, this thing on his head like Piccolo's, but it isn't purple on top.
Like a turban.
Yeah. It was all white.
Alright, and then we got...
Or maybe it's Dragon Ball Z Fighter.
Oh, poop. This is a solid fighter. This is a great game. We played a bunch of it. We did really well. I did a lot better after I played through the story mode and then went back and played him. Because first he kept really whooping me really bad.
I just kept pressing the same button over and over again.
He's a cheater. He cheats at fighting games.
I heard every single word. Daddy told me you can't just press the button over and over again. It's considered cheating.
Yep.
And I'm like, no, it's not. It's my own technique.
But this is a 2D fighter. So, like how I said Soulcalibur was a 3D fighter because you could move in a 3D plane. This is one-on-one, side-to-side, kind of like Street Fighter. But it's great. The story mode is off the wall, but it's kind of what you've come to expect from a Dragon Ball Z game.
You get to be a good guy, and then it's like from the bad guy's point of view.
Yeah. And where that really shines, though, is in the versus mode. It's just a lot of fun, like any other fighting game to play.
They even talk to each other before they start the battle.
Yeah.
And Krillin's like, I thought we already... And when you pick the same Majin Buu twice in a row, Krillin's like, I thought we already settled this.
Alright, moving right along. We got 3 N64 games, and they're all 3 wrestling games, and they're all 3 of varying qualities.
And one of them, like, we were playing against each other, and then, like, more guys came.
Yeah, so we got WWF Warzone. This one was a lot of fun. I remember playing it back in the day, and it's got a really cool Royal Rumble mode. That's what he was just talking about.
Yeah, and like more guys kept coming. Like me and Daddy were punching each other, and then like this other guy came and he was like, "Yeah!" and started punching Daddy in the face, and I was like,
but you know, like
hey,
with all these,
he's mine, and I started punching him like, get off of him.
Yeah. So like with all these wrestling games, they look terrible and they play super clunky, but it's
fun.
It's fun. Yeah, and that's the whole point of them, is to play with a buddy, I think, is the deal. This is WCW NWO Revenge. Just another wrestling game, same type of thing.
One of those wrestling games is hard to figure out how to turn on 2-player mode.
Yeah, so this is WCW Backstage Assault, and it's just terrible. It's almost unplayable. It was just bad. But that's that. And they're nothing to write home about, but they are fun to play together. We got one Genesis game, which is actually 6-in-1. It's the Genesis 6-pack.
I don't remember playing that.
It's got Sonic the Hedgehog, Golden Axe, Streets of Rage, Revenge of Shinobi, Columns, and Super Hang-On.
I don't remember playing that.
Yeah, you may not have, but you've played almost all the games that are on it. We got the most of right here are Super Nintendo games.
Careful.
Alright, so first up here, we've got Riddick Bowie Boxing. It's just another sports title. It's a boxing game. It's not very fun, and that's about all you can say about it. Oscar wanted to pick it up when we saw it, so we grabbed it.
I just like fighting games.
Yep. And then we've got Phalanx, which, as you can tell by the artwork and the box cover, I'll put a picture of the box on screen, that it's about a banjo-playing hillbilly that sits on his porch with his dog. No, actually, for some reason, that's the artwork, but this is actually a side-scrolling shooter game. It's a lot of fun. You play in your little spaceship, and you get power-ups. It's a normal shooter, but...
I didn't even have that cover of it. It's just shooting game.
I have no idea. Brutal, Paws of Fury. It is another side-scrolling fighter-type game where you play as different animals. Anthropomorphic animals that fight each other. It is a lot more fun on 2-player than it is on single-player. I remember renting that one a lot as a kid.
Shoryuken!
And then we got a lot of fighting games this go around.
Yeah.
This one is Killer Instinct for the Super Nintendo. It's another 2D fighter. It's a great one. It is really good. It's a Mortal Kombat-y kind of, but just another 2D fighter. A lot of fun to play with a friend. NBA Jam Tournament Edition. I was always a big fan of NBA Jam. I'm not real big on sports titles, but the ones that are more arcadey are always a lot more fun. With that one, you know, your character can be on fire, and so every shot you make goes in and stuff like that.
Next up, Power Rangers.
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. This game is a beat-em-up, kind of in the Double Dragon or Battletoads type of arena, and it is a lot of fun. You pick your Power Ranger, pick your favorite one, or if you're like me and your name's Billy, you just pick Billy. And you go through the stages as the kid initially, and then you morph into the actual Power Ranger after that.
So, is it multiplayer?
It is multiplayer. There's a 2-player option on that one. Super Godzilla. This game is awful. For some reason, you
are Godzilla?
You are Godzilla, but instead of... You know, you think it'd just be like a game where you're a giant dinosaur that fights other monsters. I think that's what it would be. But for some reason, you're in this like grid system, and you're basically just this dot that you move around, and you can see Godzilla doing things. Then eventually you get to the other dot, which is the giant monster, and then it tries to trick you into thinking that you're going to actually get to fight that monster. But it's just like kind of static pictures of Godzilla. Like you can do button inputs and do things, but he doesn't really respond the way you want him to, and it's just really disappointing letdown game.
They probably could have made it a great game, but they chose not to.
Well, how do you go wrong? You know, giant monsters that fight each other.
That would be great.
Just been a fighting game with Godzilla, and it would have even been good.
Yeah, and maybe one of the characters that you fight is King Kong.
That'd been neat. Yeah. We're back. A dinosaur story. Skip it and go watch the movie.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah.
T2, the arcade game. It is on a Super Nintendo cartridge, but if you see the arcade, play the arcade, and you'll have a lot of fun. You won't have near as much fun with this. It's a shooting game, just like it is in the arcade. Maybe if this works with the Super Scope, I don't know if it does or not. But if it does, it'd probably be a lot more fun than using it with the controller.
I would have never guessed that was a shooting game.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It looks like that guy's a robot, and I'm thinking of him like trying to break out of there, like,
yeah,
I'm free.
Yeah, it's a shooter, and if it is Super Scope compatible, I can see that being a lot of fun. But I was playing it with a controller, and it just wasn't that great. I've got this game right here, Michael Jordan, Chaos in the Windy City. This game has no business being as good as it is. This game is awesome. I guess it's kind of a guilty pleasure, you might call it, but this game is really good. I used to rent it all the time as a kid. You play as Michael Jordan, and
Do you throw flame basketballs at people?
You can throw flame basketballs at people. And what's going on is the rest of the Chicago Bulls have been kidnapped by some guy.
Oh yeah, and you try to get these keys and unlock these doors and go and rescue all of them.
You're trying to go rescue all of them. And then you get different power-up basketballs that you can use, and it's a really stupid, silly-sounding concept, but it's very well executed. It's a lot of fun.
What if they made this one basketball where it was like deflated, and then he bent it into like a boomerang, and he was like, boomerang basketball, boomerang basketball.
There is kind of one that comes back to you, but you don't like bend it and do all that craziness.
Oh.
We have Aladdin. This game is amazing.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
But I couldn't wait until I got to the genie's lamp. Like, I was like, how much longer until I'm at the genie's lamp? Because I saw Daddy playing it, and I was like, I want to be at the genie's lamp. And I thought he meant like you started off at the genie's lamp, but no.
Yep.
You have to go through the whole town, and then finally get inside of the genie's lamp.
Yep. So this game is fantastic. I used to rent it a lot as a kid. Now I have it. I had the one for the Genesis already. Haven't played very much of it, but I know there was a lot of debate back in the day about which version of it was better. I personally really love the Super Nintendo one. It could be because that's the one that I grew up with, but it's a great game. It's a real solid platformer. It controls the way that you wish Prince of Persia for the Super Nintendo would control, if that makes any sense. But it's a ton of fun. If you can find it, definitely need to pick that one up.
If you're confused about why you have the apples, they're for throwing.
Then last but not least, we got some NES stuff. We only got 3 NES games this month, which is kind of a bummer because the NES is the part of my collection that I'm trying to build up the most. It's the one that I want to quote-unquote complete. So I'm going for fully licensed North American minus stadium events because that's ridiculous, plus Tengen. So basically it's all the things that I could have rented when I was a kid is what I'm trying to get. And we're doing okay. I think we've got almost 100. So we're not as nearly as big as some people, but we're getting there.
I think we have a little bit more than 100 games here.
Well, we've got more than 100 total games, yeah, but I'm talking about NES stuff.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah. So the first up on here is Silent Service. I had never heard of it before. I picked it up because it was an Ultra game, which, if you don't know, is Konami. So I was expecting a fun game. This is a submarine simulator.
Are you in a submarine shooting missiles at those big ships?
I wish you were doing something that fun. The footage you're going to see is from an emulator because I couldn't actually get this cart to work. I cleaned it and took it apart and cleaned it, and it still wouldn't do anything. But the game, like I said, is a submarine simulator. So you see a map, and you can move different dials and things to make the sub submerge or come up. I only played it for about a minute because I couldn't figure out really what it was doing, or, you know, there's no, like, shoot stuff.
What are you supposed to do?
Yeah, I don't know. This one, however, I've been playing the heck out of Startropics. I've heard good things. I never played it until recently, and it is a fantastic game. It's a kind of overhead, but it's an adventure game. It's got some light RPG elements in it. You play as this guy that has come to the island to see his uncle, and his uncle's missing, and you go on this adventure trying to find him. Think Zelda 2, but good.
Let's go on to the next game.
All right. So next up we have Battletoads. Battletoads is fantastic. It came around, you know, during the era when everybody was trying to be the Ninja Turtles. So I was trying to cash in on some of that, but it is a beat-em-up game, and it is so good. I used to play it and rent it all the time as well as a kid. Now I have a copy of it, and this is CIB, which is awesome. And that's just a little protection. It's not sealed or anything. It's a plastic case. A lot of fun and hours of enjoyment out of this game. So basically, you play as
this guy?
Either one or two of the three Toads. One of them's kidnapped, and you're out to get him. And you fight hogs and rats because, you know, Toads don't like hogs and rats.
I don't think I didn't know if they even cared about them. Like,
I don't think they do. So that's our games for the month of January. That's everything that we picked up.
What are the big boss? They could have made the big boss like somebody trying to put you in the zoo.
The big boss in that game is like
a giant hog.
No, she's like a witch lady.
Yeah, turning people into frogs and hogs.
Yeah, but she's like a good-looking witch lady. So anyway, that's our pickups for the month of January. Leave us a comment down below. Let us know what you thought. Let us know what you want to see us play. We're going to be doing some more Let's Play stuff. Me and Oscar still got to finish up Cuphead. We're going to be doing one. Me and Evie are going to be Let's Playing Aladdin here pretty soon. So stay tuned to the channel, and good night, everybody.
Bye.
Maybe it's Dragon Ball Fighters.
No.